Hello, our dear students. We are going to study lesson 8, the last lesson of unit 1 in algebra, the division of two rational numbers. A over B and C over D as two rational numbers, such as C over D not equal 0. So, A over B divided by C over D will equal A over B times the multiplicative inverse of the rational number after the division sign. So we convert the division operation to multiplication operation. To divide two rational numbers, negative 2 over 3 by 4 over 5, you multiply negative 2 over 3 by the multiplicative inverse of 4 over 5. The multiplicative inverse of the number is the reciprocal of the number. 4 over 5 will equal 5 over 4. So negative 2 over 3 divided 4 over 5 will equal negative 2 over 3 times 5 over 4, which is equal negative 10 over 12, and in the simplest form it will be negative 5 over 6. 1. Calculate the value of each of the following. Negative 5 over 4 divided by negative 2 over 3. We convert the divided sign to multiplying sign as follows to get negative 5 over 4 times negative 3 over 2. We studied the sign rule before. Let's remember it together. Positive divided negative will equal negative. Okay? Negative divided negative will equal positive. Positive divided positive will equal also positive. Negative divided positive will equal negative. So here in this example, negative divided negative, the negative sign will go together to have the positive sign. So 5 over 4 times 3 over 2 will equal 15 over 8 in the simplest form. Over 4 divided by negative 2 and 1 over 4. We studied before to convert the mixed fraction to improper fraction before having any operation of dividing or multiplying as follows. Yes, to convert mixed fraction to improper fraction, we have 15 over 4 divided 9 over 4, and the negative divided negative will equal also positive. 15 over 4 divided 9 over 4 will equal 15 over 4 times 4 over 9, which is equal 5 over 3 in the simplest form. Another example, 2 over 7 plus 3 over 7 inside the brackets divided 10 over 7. First, we must have the result of the operation inside the bracket to get 2 over 7 plus 3 over 7 equal 5 over 7, then divided by 10 over 7. As we know, we convert the division operation to multiplying operation by converting the number after the division sign to its multiplicative inverse to have 5 over 7 times 7 over 10 to get 5 over 10, which is equal half in the simplest form. If A equal 3 over 4, B equal negative 5 over 2, find in the simplest form the numerical of a minus b over a plus b. We substitute by the number of a and b as follows. A minus b over a plus b will equal 3 over 4 minus negative 5 over 2 over 3 over 4 plus negative 5 over 2, which is equal. To get the result of the numerator first and the result of the denominator after that. The numerator 3 times 1 we studied before in the addition operation and subtraction operation. Having the LCM of the numerator, the denominator will be 3 times 1 plus 5 times 2 over 4, and this is all the numerator, over 3 times 1 minus 2 times 5 over 4, which is equal 13 over 4 divided by or over negative 7 over 4, which is equal 13 over 4 divided negative 7 over 4. We convert the division operation to multiplication operation to get 13 over 4 times 4 over negative 17, which is equal negative 13 over 7 in the simplest form. Application on the rational number. Rule 1. The number lies in halfway between two numbers. You must know this rule too. Very important rule. Equal the smaller number plus half the absolute value of the greater number minus the smaller number. Example number 1. Find the rational number in halfway between 9 over 4 and 17 over 6 from the side of the smaller. First, we must define the smaller number and the greater number as follows. The smaller number here is 9 over 4 and the greater is 17 over 6. By using the previous rule, so the number in halfway between two numbers given is equal smaller number plus half greater minus smaller in the absolute value. So we have 9 over 4 plus 1 over 2, absolute value of 17 over 6 minus 9 over 4, which is equal 9 over 4 plus 1 over 2 times 7 over 12 equal 9 over 4 plus 7 over 24. By using your calculator to check the answer, you get 61 over 24. So 61 over 24 is the number lies in the halfway between 9 over 4 and 17 over 6 from the side of the smaller number. The number that lies on the third of the way between two numbers from the side of the smaller number have also the same rule as follows. The smaller number plus third the absolute value of the subtraction of greater and smaller. By the same way, if we want the number lies on the fourth the way of the side of the smaller, it will be, yes, smaller number plus quarter the absolute value of greater minus smaller. Let's the number lies on the fifth way of from the side of the smaller. We have the smaller number plus 1 over 5 absolute value of greater minus smaller, and so on. Remark: if you want the number lies in 1/3 the way from the side of the greater, not the side of the smaller, what the rule will be? Yes, it will be like that. The number lies in the third way from the side of the greater will be equal the greater minus 1 over 3, the absolute value of greater minus smaller. Example number 2, find the rational number that lies on the third way between negative 5 over 6 and negative 1 and a half from the side of what? Of the smaller. First, we must define the smaller number and the greater number of those two numbers. Yes, we have negative 5 over 6 and negative 1 and half. It will be in the improper form as negative 3 over 2. Which is greater of them? The smaller number is negative 3 over 2 because of the negative sign, and the greater number will be negative 5 over 6. The number lies in one third the way between those numbers will equal, by using this rule, smaller plus 1 over 3, absolute value of greater minus smaller. We substitute by smaller and the greater number as follows: negative 3 over 2 plus 1 third, absolute value of negative 5 over 6 minus negative 3 over 2, which is equal negative 3 over 2 plus 1 over 3 times 2 over 3. In the absolute value we have negative, but the absolute value, remove the negative sign of the number, so we have negative 3 over 2 plus 2 over 9. It will be negative 23 over 18. We can use your calculator to get the answer quickly. Of the smaller number. So first we define the smaller and the greatest. The smaller number here is negative 1 over 3, and the greater number will equal negative 6. By using the following rule, which is equal the number at 1/4 smaller plus 1 over 4, absolute value of greater minus smaller, as we studied. Negative 1 over 3 plus 1 over 4, in the absolute value negative 1 over 6 minus negative 1 over 3, negative 1 over 3 plus 1 over 4 times 1 over 6, by getting the result of timing first, then add to the number, negative 1 over 3 plus 1 over 24, which is equal negative 7 over 24. So the number lying in the 1/4 the way between those two numbers from the side of the smaller will equal negative 7 over 24.